was Dad's business partner's son, and a super popular jock in school. But I didn't like him at all. Happy birthday, Princess. I'm here to make your dreams come true. I've told you not to call me that, Hardin. And what do you know about my dreams? Well, if you're like any normal girl, I know your heart is screaming for me. Hardin! Oh, my Hardin! Just stop fighting it, baby. Let's tell everyone we're together. Oh, I really don't think I deserve you. Why don't you just ask out any of those other girls? Because you're the only one who's as beautiful as me, Princess. Come on, let's dance. No, I really don't want to, but he took my hand and started pulling me to the dance floor when suddenly Luke came up to us. Sir, can you please let Jasmine go? She's shy and she said she doesn't want to dance. Jasmine? It's Miss Jasmine to you, servant boy. Don't forget your place and stay out of my business with my girl. Luke looked furious and I didn't want to fight him and get into trouble, so I just pulled my arm away and ran off. That Hardin was such a jerk. Later that night, I went looking for Luke and found him sitting on a bench. Hey, I'm sorry about the way Hardin spoke to you. He had no right to do that. Well, he wasn't totally wrong, was he? I am just a servant, and I've been foolish to think I could mean anything more to you. But you do mean more to me, Luke. I like you. I mean, like you. Luke suddenly turned to me with stars in his eyes. He came closer and put a hand under my chin, and my heart was racing. You're the loveliest person I've ever met, Jasmine, and I'm crazy about you. With that, he leaned in and kissed me, and it was perfect. I was still on cloud 9 the next day. As I left school and looked around for my car, I suddenly spotted Luke standing outside. I'm here to pick you up today. There's a really special place I want to show you. I smiled and took his hand, when suddenly, Hardin pushed Luke away. Don't get your germs on her, cutter boy. I'll call the police. You're clearly a stalker. Dude, whatever you do, just don't touch me again. Oh yeah? What you gonna do, huh? And with that, he was about to push Luke again when I stepped in. Just stop it. He's not a stalker, Hardin. Leave him alone. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you'd have feelings for this loser, Jasmine. I do have feelings for him. Feelings that I'll never have for you. And he's not a loser. You are. And with that, I pushed him back harder than I'd meant to, and he landed on his butt. I just took Luke's hand and ran out of there. I was hoping Hardin had gotten the message and he'd stop bothering me. But the next day, when I opened my locker, a balloon popped into my face, and it was covered with some black powder. Just then, I turned to see Hardin's sister Betty cackling at me. Oh, you look good, Jasmine. I only wish I'd used something permanent. You did this? What's your problem? No, what's your problem? Do you think you're some goddess? I know how you rejected my brother. What, you think you're better than him? Better than us? Better than everyone? Betty, it's not even your business. Oh, shut up. My brother is my business, and my mission in life is to teach arrogant people like you a lesson. I suggest you go beg him for forgiveness, or else you'll have me to deal with. And with that, she stormed off. This brother-sister pair was crazy. A few days later, we were having a big play in school, and I was one of the backstage organizers. I was checking all the lights behind the curtains when suddenly, Hardin popped up out of nowhere. Okay, I'm ready to hear it. Hear what? Your apology, of course. Betty told me you were really sorry about what you did that day. I knew you were just playing hard to get, Princess. You couldn't like that beggar boy for real. Hardin, look at my face and read my lips. I don't like you. That doesn't sound like a very good apology. It's not, you moron. Just go away. The play is about to start. As I brushed him aside, he grabbed me by the waist and kissed me. I felt rage like I'd never felt before, and I slapped him hard across the face. You've really crossed the line, Hardin. You disgust me, and I wouldn't be with you if you were the last guy on the planet. That's when I realized the curtains had suddenly opened, and I had a mic in my hand. Everyone had seen and heard everything. I ran off stage at the speed of light. I didn't mention anything to Luke because I knew he'd get mad and fight Hardin. And since that day, Hardin looked super pissed and acted like I didn't even exist. Finally, he was done bothering me. Or so I thought. A few days later, I was showering in the girls' changing room after gym class when suddenly I screamed, seeing a chunk of hair in my hands. Oh my God, what? I checked the shampoo bottle and it looked and smelled really weird. Within seconds, all my hair fell from my head and I looked like E.T. Suddenly, I heard loud laughter outside. I stepped outside the shower stall to see Betty there, sitting with Hardin. Look, the Ancient One has finally come out of the shower. I'm sure Marvel's gonna cast you in their next movie, Jasmine. You crazy psycho! What did you do? What did you put in my shampoo? Who says I did it? But yeah, just between us, I did it. It's some really strong hair removing foam. Don't act like I didn't warn you, egghead. Wow. Just look at you. You thought you were too pretty for me, huh? Well, let's see who's gonna like you now. You guys are monsters. I'm gonna tell the principal about you. You'll pay for this. Go ahead. It's not like you can prove it. And we also want to see the reaction of all the kids as you walk by those corridors, Jasmine. Their princess has no hair anymore. All of them left, laughing like crazy, and I felt terrible. I hid in the girls' room until school was over, and then I ran home all by myself wearing my hoodie. As soon as I reached home, I went to my room and locked the door from inside. But Luke came by that evening and wouldn't stop knocking. Jasmine, open up. Why didn't you come down for dinner? The driver told me you didn't use the car to come back home. Tell me what happened, please. Go away, Luke. Leave me alone. Why are you crying? Please, open the door, Jasmine. Just go. You're probably gonna hate me after you see me. Nothing can make me hate you, dummy. Don't you know me at all? I went ahead and opened the door, and he looked super shocked. Oh my God, what happened to your hair? I buried my face in my hands. I know, I look hideous. I shouldn't have let you in. That jerk Hayden, he and his sister, they did this to me. My hair is all gone, Luke. I looked up at him and his stunned face just hurt my heart. And then he said, Jasmine, I'm so sorry, but I can't do this anymore. What? What do you mean? What can't you do anymore? I can't be with you. This is too much. I have to go. And with that, he just turned around and left. Oh my God. Did he just break up with me because of my hair? And the next day, I found out from the cook that he'd left the job and was gone for good. I couldn't believe it. The one person who I never thought could hurt me turned out to be the biggest jerk. I was heartbroken and angry and didn't go to school for days. Then one night, Dad returned from a business trip and came to my room. Sweetheart, your mom told me you won't go to school or eat downstairs. What's going on, love? I couldn't hide it anymore. I removed my hoodie, and Dad turned paper white when he saw my bald head. Oh, Jasmine, what happened? I hugged him and cried my heart out as I told him everything, and he was beyond furious. I'm going to destroy those people. I'll make those brats suffer for the rest of their lives. No one gets away with hurting my daughter. And Dad really meant it. He pulled out all of his investment from Hardin's dad's company. What? You can't do that. I'll never be able to recover from this loss. My company will go under. And I won't lose a minute of sleep over it. I'm not the one who ruined you. It's your kids. You raised those jerks, now deal with it. And when I finally returned to school wearing a wig, I found that Hardin and Betty had both been withdrawn, and I never saw them again. My hair grew back long and lovely in some months, but I was no longer the same person. I was so much tougher now, and I would never let another Hardin or Betty or Luke hurt me again. I finished school and got into Cambridge and completed my business education from there. Years later, when I returned home, I took over Dad's business and became one of the youngest female CEOs in the country. One night, when I arrived at a restaurant for a meeting with a new client, I felt like someone had pulled the ground under my feet. The new client was Luke. Jasmine, wait. Please don't leave. I went from shock to boiling rage in seconds. He'd pretended to be some client to see me? I stormed out of the restaurant, and he followed. Wait, please. We need to talk, Jasmine. I know how you feel. I turned around sharply, and he almost bumped into me. Do you? Do you really know how I feel? Because if you did, you would just shut up and turn around and never contact me again. I dashed off to my car and drove away before he could say another word. I was so shaken and angry. The next day at dinner, our old cook walked in and asked my parents if she could take the day off. You remember the boy who used to work here, Luke, my nephew? Well, his little sister's really sick and he's here for her treatment. I'd like to go see them. Luke's sister was sick? I knew how hard he'd always worked for his family. Maybe he'd come to me because he needed money? I tried shaking it off because it wasn't my problem, but I just couldn't. The next day, I asked the cook to take me with her to the hospital, and Luke looked shocked to see me. Jasmine, what are you doing here? I just wanted to say, if you need money for your sister, I'll give it to you. Consider it a repayment for all those years of friendship. And then, we're done. What? I didn't come to you for money. I've made something of myself. I can afford the treatment. I was in the city, and I promised myself I'd never bother you again. But I just had to talk once. Fine. I'm here. Go ahead. Although, there's nothing you can say. Hardin threatened to hurt you if I stayed with you, okay? And he threatened my family. I thought he was bluffing, but when I saw what he did to you, I couldn't bear the idea of him doing something even worse to you or my family. I thought the best thing I could do for everyone was to get out of your life. But Jasmine, walking away from you is the hardest thing I've ever done. I know I've hurt you terribly, and I wish I could have spared you that. I'm just really sorry. As he was about to walk away, I suddenly took his hand. I wish you'd just told me the truth then, Luke. But I understand why you didn't. And the hardest thing I've had to do all these years is hating you. I just don't want to do it anymore. Can I maybe see your sister? I'm sure she'd love that. But before we walked in, I pulled him closer, and we kissed.